not yet a majority in position of power, and we have a problem. I cannot understand. Today we have a chairman of European Commission, a president of European Parliament, and the majority of the chief of member state are women. And the result, what is it? Catastrophe. We talk about crisis. And I believe all citizens now believe of women. Because I believe, really, women can change the world. But the problem at this moment, I believe, is a cultural problem. Because the men don't want to share the power, that's all. They don't want to share the power, it's the reality. I'm the first chairwoman in transport committee in this, the first time of the history of the European Parliament. It's crazy. 40 years. We wait 40 years to have a chairwoman in transport committee. It's real. It's real, but it's not the reality. Why? Because I believe we must not forget that politics and the institution are the mirror of our society normally. And this mirror, where is it in this institution? It does not exist. That's the reason why I like when you start with the campaign, the next campaign. Because I believe it's a time to each member state to propose a woman and a man. Because at this moment we have only 9 women of 28 women in the Juncker Commission. It's crazy. We, in this parliament, in Europe, we like talk about equality. We like the legislative, directive, we like blah, blah, blah. But in the fact, where is equality when you talk about European Commission? Only 9 women? That's the reason why. For me, it's necessary to make parity in all elections. The normality is normality, is normal, is normal. The place of the woman is the same place of the man. That's the reason why I invite all political groups to follow the example of the Greens of the European Commission the next year. In the European, we need each time a woman and a man. For example, when you talk about the share of political group, in the group, in Greens group, we have a man and a woman. It's the same thing when we present tomorrow the candidate in European Commission. Each member state must propose a man and a woman, not only a man. First proposal. My second proposal is very clear because I can understand we have in the story we talk about the quota. The quota are, I receive a lot of email talk about, no, Mrs. Delli, is not an ideal solution when you talk about quota. But for me, the quota is a necessity to push, to promote, to emerge a new woman in politics. That's all. But this message is very important to send from the political party. It's very important that during the European election, we need to push women. That's the reason why. The first step in the next election for me, it's to start to say we need a woman of the head of this European Parliament. That's all. That's all. The next chairwoman of this European Parliament, 35 years ago, is not possible for me. That's the reason why I start with this campaign. And secondly, very concrete, I cannot accept in this Parliament or in European institution, in a society, we don't want the ordinary sexism. And we have a problem with this. For example, when I was in a very important conference, one of my colleagues said to me, "Oh, your speech is very technical for a woman." It's crazy to say that. But for men, it's normal to say that. But we cannot accept this. That's the reason why in the next interior reglement in this European Parliament, in this institution, is a time to make a campaign about ordinary sexism. We cannot accept this sentence. We are the colleague, we have the same competence, we have the same level, we are MEP, and when of your colleagues say that, sometimes they believe this man is in France, the expression is papa. You are a baby and we need a man, a father. We don't need a father. Each woman in a private life have a father, okay? You are not my father. And I don't want this atmosphere, paternalism. Yeah. You understand what I said? Okay, so that's the reason why in this institution we need to make a campaign about front of, against ordinary sexism. We cannot accept this inferior situation, because when women say that, you are inferior. Not just, we don't have the equal place. You are a baby, and I am a man. So look at me, because me, I'm very serious. I cannot accept. I'm sorry. So is my second suggestion. Make a campaign against ordinary sexism. And the last but not the least, I believe it's very important to show this discrimination about women is not only institution in politics. That's the reason why all topics, all dossiers, is very important to show the discrimination front a woman in general. When you talk about employment, when you talk about housing, when you talk about precarious situation, and for example, part-time job are mostly held by women, is the reality. And together is a time to create a European platform or what you want to show we have a lot of ideas, and it's a time to show we want to change the world. Change the world is not just a blah blah. Concretely, when we have, for example, my colleague, we do not only speak, we do something to change the life of the people. Thank you.